Forgive, but don't forget. When someone has done wrong to you, it's okay not to forget what they've done. In fact, it's probably a good thing to help keep them accountable and make sure that they don't make the same mistake again. But you should always forgive the other person. Sometimes they don't deserve forgiveness. Even then, I still think it's the better option to forgive. By not forgiving and by forever holding a grudge against another person, they, by extension, live rent free in your head. And whenever the thought of them comes up, a piece of resentment, negative thoughts fill your mind, where positive thoughts and feelings of peace and harmony can take their place if you had just forgiven them. Sometimes the person who has done wrong to you acknowledges that they have done wrong, and those who are truly sorry do deserve forgiveness. What's the point in not forgiving someone who truly meant the apology they gave to you? In the past, when I was younger, I've had instances where someone close to me or someone maybe I didn't know too well hurt me really badly. And I failed to want to forgive them. I wanted to hate them for a long time. But the longer that you hold on to this resentment, the longer you realize that it actually doesn't, it's not hurting the other person by doing this. Because that's what you would hope happens to the other person, that they feel some of your pain. But instead, you are feeling more of the pain. So by forgiving another person, it not only helps out the other person's case, but it helps you as well. It like lifts a burden off of you and the other person by forgiving the other person. The person who hurts you, they don't have control over whether you choose to forgive them or not. You have all the power. And some people like this power. They like having the option to not forgive the other person. It makes them feel like they can get some revenge. It makes them feel like the other person is forever at their feet. They're forever having to be sorry for their actions. But even when the other person did wrong and doesn't acknowledge they did wrong, forgiving them is actually just an extreme sign of maturity. If another person who hurts you doesn't apologize, I still think it's a better idea to forgive them. Because at the end of the day, someone who hurts you, they did it for a reason. And most of the time, in the instances where the other person fails to apologize or fails to recognize their wrongdoings, it's because they're a hurt person inside. They have issues of their own to deal with. And before those issues are resolved, or until those issues are resolved, they would never think twice about forgiving. But by acknowledging that the other person is maybe hurting inside, or maybe they're not in a good place, forgiving them is actually maybe one step in the right direction for helping them out as well. And maybe eventually they will forgive you. Maybe they will apologize. Yeah, I meant not them forgiving you, you forgiving them. Them apologizing, but I've kind of thought about this, and it's like people who hold grudges that I've known of, they're really just self-sabotaging, you know? There's no point in holding a grudge ever. So me personally, I at the even the slightest inconveniences, I immediately, let the moment pass and forgive the person. Whether it be a road rager, I've had a couple of those. I just acknowledge they're angry and say sorry for perhaps, angering them, even though it may have not been my fault. And then I let the situation go, and it feels nice. If you act back in some sort of hate or anger, it can blow up the situation, make it worse, and make you feel worse after the matter. But by choosing the path of peace and harmony, you look like the bigger man, and it also helps give you some peace of mind and is a sign of great maturity. So yeah, that's all I have to say for today. Um, not not a very long video, but a very important thing to keep in mind.